What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the real, the raw, and the relevant. How you guys doing today? Appreciate everyone from jumping on earlier in on IG. I really appreciate everyone jumping on and with us. And for those of you guys that came from IG here, thank you very much. We don't have anything pre-planned today. We're just gonna break down how our week went, things that are going on in the business, things that we're seeing. Some of the challenges that we're running into. So, Brian Smith, what's up, brother? Man, Brian. You haven't attended my class, bro. No, I'm just kidding. I know you've been dealing with some stuff, but Ryan, what's going on, bro? Talk to us. What's happening?
Say Ryan or Brian?
You.
What's up, everyone? What's up, Brian? What's up, Matt? Damn it, Brian. Yep, exactly. Damn it. You need to get a closing lab.
Cool. So, big bosses. What's up, Walter? How you doing, brother? Appreciate you for being on. We're gonna let a couple more people jump in. Drop some fire emojis, some thumbs up. Remember, this is a live show, so I want to remind you of that. If you make sure that you ask your questions today. It's an open platform. We don't really have anything in the as far as like an agenda. We're just going to talk about this week, how it's went, and things that we run into. We had a really interesting week, right, Ryan? I think with a couple of our deals, a JV deal, and then one of our own deals. It's been a roller coaster when it comes to that. We just started. We opened up the floodgates to a certain marketing channel. We're going to talk about that today as well too. Super excited about that. But yeah, and Ryan, you want to start off by talking about the deal we were supposed to close on was it Tuesday?
First? Yes. Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's get it. So like Matt was just saying, no agenda today. We're going to talk about what's happening, what's working. We're going to pour into everyone that's on this call. Open up. If you guys have questions, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, if you have questions, concerns, feedback, let's get it out. Let's talk about it. Again, all things wholesaling, investing, but nevertheless, Tuesday supposed to wake up, collect a nice fat check. This was a little, what am I trying to say here? Complicated, so to speak, because it was a husband and wife that were not getting along, going through a divorce, and both had stories. Max and I couldn't tell who was telling the truth, who wasn't. Super unique, but we just really not only just wanted to get paid for it, we wanted to resolve that issue for the two of them because we saw how much it was just causing dismay for the family between both of them. And we have hearts, so Max and I obviously are like, hey, let's obviously try to do our best we can to help them get this resolved because they already had something really close to closing, and at the closing table, something got yanked. I don't know the whole story, but it did go through. So anyways, nevertheless, Tuesday morning, super excited, going to help these people close, move on, different chapter of life, get paid, get a check. Max was super excited. And then what happened, Max?
I appreciate the layout of that, man. It's exactly what happened. So, yeah, so obviously all the way up to what Ryan was saying that day we're closing. It's a deal here in Arizona, and so well actually let me back up just a little bit. I think we missed one point. So this deal was actually brought to us from a certain friend of ours that basically said, help me fix my shoulder. So this deal was brought to us, and it was overpriced first to begin with, and so that first wholesaler could not move it. I think we ended up they sent it to us at 260, correct?
Yeah, 260,
yeah, so 260,000. And so what happened was that obviously it was too high, so the agreement ended. They ended the agreement, and then the guy that brought it to us originally said, hey, Max, can you call the seller and see what you guys can do? So sure enough, I ended up calling the seller, and I ended up negotiating the deal down to 229. So from 260 all the way down to 229.
Hey, for those of us that are not good at math, how much was that, Max?
That is a $30,000 difference. Yeah, so $30,000 difference, almost $31,000 difference. So So yeah, so got it down from the guy had it 360 or 260, and then when I called, got her down to 226. Or sorry, 229. Excuse me. And so yeah, so we ended up again. Fast forward, that was the first part of that. That's when Ryan said that they had to cancel on them the first time. Now come all the way up to fast forward to Ryan's story is so Tuesday morning. I'm pumped. We're pumped. We're expecting this. And this is why I can't stress this enough for you guys that are just starting on this business. Do not, you ever heard the phrase from Marshawn Lynch which says, don't count your chickens. Remember that? Don't count your chickens before they hatch, right? So no, we've learned this already a long time ago. And when Ryan came to be part of the team as well, we cannot count, we cannot count on anything until the funds hit the account. That's really what it comes down to, right? Until the deal's done, even when they say it's until the money hits the account, because I can tell you, even if it records, anything can happen. So until the money's in the account, then you can celebrate, right, Ryan?
100%. And it's not like you or me have never been through this before, never heard of it before, but man, no matter what, it doesn't count until it hits. Oh, sorry, we lost Max there for a second. So anyways, you guys just have me for now. We'll let him get back on here. But yeah, so really everything everyone understands that, has heard it. In this industry, it happens a lot more. I have to see it's a lot more relevant than any other sales position I've ever been in. But it toughens you up. It also, we look back and say, okay, what could we have done different to change the outcome? Was there anything different that we could have done? How could we have sharpened our skills, or how could we have gotten, the process better? So it's not always just a 100% negative experience, because again, you learn from it, you understand what you could have done different, and then you apply that to the very, very next opportunity. But again, waiting on Max to come back. It got us down, for a couple hours, a little bit, it hit us, right? We're human. We understand that, things can happen, but right away, I say after a couple hours, right away, we pivoted. We know that we still have a job to do. So reached out to the husband and the wife individually, separately. Max was more talking to the wife. I was talking to the husband, just the way it worked out. But we're very transparent with them. Listen, our buyer was there to buy. He was at the signing table, got a phone call, and then without explanation said he's no longer buying the property. So, we just empathize with them, understand that, hey, we know you've been through this already before. Sorry that this has happened to you again. Max and I actually take that very personal. It's not just about the money. We harp on that quite a bit. We want to perform. We want people to have a good experience with our process and what we're doing, not just because we want them to have a good experience as well, but we want them to talk about it and share their story with other people so we can continue to help more people. If people got to sell their property, and we want them to be able to sell to us for the experience, right? We believe we have a sorry about that, a little loud, but we believe that we provide a better experience for everyone. So got them back on track right away. We had to send an addendum to extend closing. Once we had the addendum signed, we had to resell it. So I got back on the phone, started dialing everybody again. I treat dispositions like acquisitions. It's no longer just posting a deal, texting a deal, or emailing a deal, and everyone is responding to you saying they want it. They're raising their hand. I had to email it, retext it, and then I picked up the phone and dialed everyone again. Got them interested, got people interested to go walk the property. We had people, and this is an important piece here, guys, ladies and gentlemen. We had people who were willing to offer what we were asking, but without walking the property. And remember, the sellers have already been through 2 cancellations, so we do not want them to cancel again. Okay, gotcha. Everything all right? All right. Hey, sorry, guys. Everyone, Max had to leave for nothing bad, just a health reason, but everything's good. Nothing bad's going on. So I'm going to just finish up the story. Hopefully you guys have some questions so we can continue with some questions. Provide a little bit of value today. Sorry about that. Again, Max just had to leave out of nowhere, just health-wise, but everything's good. So sorry, to finish up the story. So here's the thing. Here's when we had a new buyer say, hey, they want to buy the property, where to send the EMD. We slowed it down. I said, hey, listen, we work for the seller. The seller's been counseled on twice. We don't want that to happen again. Of course, we love to sell the property, but let's all slow down. The property is vacant. Let's go take a look at it, walk it, make sure you like it. And if everything stays the same, then we'll go ahead and move forward. So again, slowed it down, had the new buyers go and walk the property. So again, there was no excuse or try to get all the excuses out, right? So make sure that the actual deal would close and, and not have the same issue. So we were able to find a buyer. And not only were able to find a buyer, the buyer was able to put the EMD down same day and close within 48 hours. So at the end of the day, it was a win-win situation for everybody in that scenario. So you never know what could happen. The day of closing, the buyer was there, took a phone call, and walked out of signing. So that's how crazy things can get. So not sure how many people are on this. This is what Max usually has available in front of him. He had to leave to let everybody know everything is okay. Thank you for that, Daniel. Everything is okay. Just had to leave for health reasons, but he'll be back a little bit later today. Any questions? Daniel, is there any questions in the chat? Anybody have any feedback, any questions, anything in particular you want us to share with you or want me to share with you today? Please put them in there. Again, sorry for things just kind of coming up again. Wasn't expecting that. Yeah, Max is good. Everything is good. It just something unplanned. He had to go take off and handle real quick. Say it again. Can you see the question? How much time did you ask the seller to extend the closing? Oh, good question, Anna. That is amazing. I'm glad you asked that, even though it's such a simple question. Because Max asked me, hey, what do you think we should do on this, right? Because you want to give yourself enough time to not have to extend it again, to not have to get another signing. But at the same time, you don't want to spook the sellers. So what we did, again, very basic. Generally, it's 30 days on or before 30 days, right? Usually closings. That's just what the general public is used to hearing, right? So that's what we did. We got an addendum to close on or before 30 days. So it didn't even go in. We didn't even have to have a deep conversation, talk about it, or go anything. But I want to explain why. I want to explain if they do ask a question or give pushback, what we would say. So, and again, it's not a magic pill. It's just very straightforward. So the guy's name was Mike. If Mike said, hey, Ryan, I got the addendum and it says 30 days. I said, oh, Mike, yeah, no worries. I understand the concern. You're looking to get this sold ASAP. You've already been through two issues where they walked away at cancellation, excuse me. So I understand you're eager to get it closed. We are just as eager. We want to perform for you as well. It's standard practice. It does say on or before 30 days. So 30 days is just a max that this can go. We don't foresee that going that long. We can get this closed as soon as 48 hours, and that's what we hope to do. But again, standard language is 30 days. It's just business as usual, Mike. That's the type of conversation I would have with Mike or with the seller if they brought anything up on it. But Anna, to answer your question, we want to give ourselves as much time as possible, right? Ask for forgiveness later. So we sent it out with a 30-day on or before 30 days, and we got it sold the same day, and they closed within 48 hours of the signing. So it all worked out. But that's what I would. That's the type of conversation I would have, and I would say give yourself as much time so you don't have to send another addendum or another agreement to be signed. I think we all know every time we have to have a seller re-sign something, I feel like there's like a moment or a quick, or like a small hesitation where they're rethinking everything again. Do they really want to sign again? And that's a position that we don't want to put ourselves into, right? So I get it. We don't want to have that, have them sign agreements multiple times. So that's why, again, my answer is 30 days or less. So hopefully that answers your question, Anna. All right, see if there's any other questions in here. Juan Miguel Zuniga, what's up, brother? Hey, Ryan, for your first buyer that backed out, do you revet them, find out what happened? Do you still send them? Oh, good question. So for our first buyer, I actually reached out to a partner, not a partner that I'm officially doing business with, but I would say an individual that I've met multiple times at meetups, and we all know the same people. This guy's a really good dude. He wasn't the buyer. He's a JV partner. He had a buyer for us. So again, the person I'm talking to, I partnered up with on this, is always on the up and up. We trust him. We still trust the guy. He's a good dude. He works for another local group here that's big name. So again, good person. See him all the time at meetups. I really like the guy. He had a buyer and he vetted him, well. I've done the same thing to answer your guys' question. I've vetted a buyer as good as I think I possibly could, and they've done some crazy things to me as well. So you never really know. You just got to make sure you take the proper steps or do everything in your power to make sure that they are vetted. So anyways, to answer the question, long-winded answer. I always have a long-winded answer, Juan Miguel. It wasn't our buyer. Our JV partner knew him, and our JV partner said, hey, we've done deals with them before. I'm not sure what happened. We didn't get an explanation. And the story, because our escrow officer, was there. She heard the phone call. It was just, he answered the phone and he said, okay, we're not doing the deal anymore, and walked out. So we don't have an explanation. I can tell you right away, Max was trying to find out who that guy was or who that person was, because one, we will blacklist him. We won't work with him again at all. Like that's big. That's the only way that we can control the best we can, right? Who we work with. If they don't want to play ball, and if they want to play by those types of rules, then the only way we can, I don't want to say hurt them, but the only way we can keep from keeping them from doing what they continue to do is don't give them business anymore, right? They either have to change their ways, they have to perform, or they can go work with somebody else, because we're not going to work with them on that. So we weren't able to find out who they were. We tried to, because we think that whether this is a popular thought or not, like we all, the people who do things on the up and up and do things right, we want to protect ourselves, protect each other, not just talking about myself, but everyone in my group who does things the right way, does business on the up and up. If somebody screwed us, we don't want that same person to screw them. So we did want to find out who it was. We would let our network know who that person is, male or female, what went down, not necessarily say not do business with them, but just, hey, be careful. This is what they did to us. Same thing could potentially happen to you. So no, we didn't. We're not going to use that person again. Didn't find out what really happened, to answer your question, Juan Miguel. We just went on to another buyer, and the buyer was somebody that I worked with, and I have a good feeling with, and obviously they performed. So everything worked out on that one. Do you still send them deals? Nope, they're done. You got to blacklist them. So Juan Miguel, everybody on there, if somebody screws you over, you can't do business with them anymore, or else you're putting yourself in a bad position. And you don't necessarily have to go after them, but warn people who are in the same industry, the people about, hey, your experience with them. Let that other person make their own decision. All right, Krista Gonzalez. Good question. I love this. Thanks, Anna, for the fire emojis. Krista, can you explain how you present properties when you are reaching out to buyers? Yes. Again, it's not nothing special, I don't think. Again, I think a lot of it is energy in your voice. So I'm just kind of giving you some basic, right? Energy in your voice. Know your property. They're going to ask you some questions. Know your property. Know the details of it. Know if it's vacant, or if it's tenant occupied, if it's on a lockbox. If not, like, have that information ready to go. Because when you call a buyer and they're like, okay, great. Is it vacant? Can I go see it today? And you're like, maybe, hold on. It's just not the great experience. You want your potential buyer to feel like you handle your business. You're on the up and up. You cross your T's, you dot your I's, you know exactly what's happening. They feel more confident working with you. And it also sets the tone as well of, I've been here before, I do this. Not that they won't negotiate with you, but they're more or less to know, okay, am I going to try to low ball this guy who's trying to sell me this property, or does this guy pretty much go to hold his ground and, I need to come to his asking price. So again, all of that, I'm encompassing all of that. So if I'm calling to say Krista's a buyer, I'm on Investor Lift, or I'm on PropStream. I pulled her information, I skip trace that I have her number, and I call. And this is as straightforward as I can tell you guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me. So Krista answers, says hello. I say, hey, Krista, this is Ryan. She's like, hey, Ryan, who? Hey, sorry to call you. Sorry to call you out of the blue. I slow down. That's a big thing. I slow down. Not just, I have a property. I see that you buy properties. I want to know if you want to buy this property. So $150,000. Can you close in 7 days? No, that's crazy. Slow down. So, hey, Krista, I got your information out of Investor Lift. I see in the past that you've bought properties near a property that I have right now in Tacoma, Washington. I'm just not sure if you're still taking on any more projects. That is my opening line, statement, question, 99.9% of the times. I found your information here. I see that you have bought properties in the past, potentially. I don't know if this information is accurate or not. That's even really what I say. I'm just not sure if you're still taking on more projects, right? And see what they say. Yes, I am. Okay, great. Probably caught you at a bad time, because now I want to get into the conversation. The probably caught you at a bad time. A lot of you guys that follow Max or follow Closers Lab, you know where we get that, right? Probably caught you at a bad time. No, Ryan, no, right now's a good time. Okay, perfect. I have all the details, pictures, and links for video walkthroughs. How would you prefer me to send that to you? I can send it to you text, or I can email it to you. Okay, text, awesome. And that's this number? Great. Now, do you have a few moments to look at this with me right now? Okay, because I want to see, like, can they look at it with me now? Let's see if there's any questions or objections I can handle right now. I got them on the phone. Let's talk. No? Okay, no, it makes sense. So if you were me, when would be the better time to call you back? Because what I'm saying is, when would I have allowed you enough time to run your numbers, do your research, talk to your partner, review the pictures, so yada yada, right? You get a commitment. It's not just, yeah, send me the property. Okay, Krista, boom, here's your email. Here's your email address. I send the property and that's it. Love to, but before I do that, Krista, real quick, is this something that we can look at together right now? No? Okay, so if you were me, when would be a better time that we could connect, just so I can get some feedback from you? So a couple things. One is, I want to follow up, and I want to call out when I'm going to follow up and why. Again, this market, people aren't buying the properties left and right anymore. Now you got to treat it like acquisition. So I want to follow up and have a reason to follow up. So it's 2:00 and I say, hey, Krista, earlier you said you would have, you had enough time to run your numbers, talk to your partner, and see if this is a good property. Is that still the case? Right? It's 2:00 now. Now we're going to talk about it. The other thing here, sorry, I lost my train of thought. I wanted to bring up something else. All right. So if they have time to look at it now, great. If not, you want to know when they do have time. That's the other part. So another piece of reconnecting with them. How many of you have sent properties and get no feedback, which sucks? Because you don't know, my price high, low, where am I at? Or how many of you get feedback, but it's just no, not interested? Okay, well, no, not interested. Why? So that's the reason why I'm still trying to set up that second phone call, or at least I'm going to follow up with you, because if you tell me no, I want to know why, so I know what I need to do. So sometimes you have to give them explanations or give them some examples. So Krista, sounds like you're passing on this property. Was it because of the location, size of the project, or did you not like the price? I'm relentless, to be honest with you, because they still sometimes won't give me all the information. They'll just say, hey, I'm just too far off. I go, no, I completely get it, Krista, but my job is to be able to bring you properties that you can move on right now. So I get it that we're far off, or we're just too far off, then it's your number, but that doesn't tell me much. So when I go lock up my next property, you're going to continue to tell me the same stuff unless you give me a little bit more insight. So when you say we're off by the number, I'm a big boy, right? I don't get my feelings hurt. Where do you need to be? Where does this got to be to make sense? All right. So I force that number out of them. I get it out of them. Even if they're not going to buy it, now I have a little bit of data and some insights for how I'm going to move that to the next buyer. So hopefully that answered your question. Krista, let's see here. Properties when they're reaching out to buy. Ryan, can you explain how you present properties? So hopefully that answered your question, Krista. Matt Levin. Ryan, it's interesting hearing about the dispo side of things. That's great. How do you go about asking for the extension? Okay, so for the extension, in our scenario, it was the guy's name was Mike. So Mike, man, sorry to have to drop this bad news on you, man, but our buyer at signing walked out, zero explanation, just walked out. So yeah, I know it's tough. Mike was just like, "What do you think?" He asked me, "Why do you think, Ryan? What's going on?" I said, "Mike, to be honest with you, what I'm coming across and what we're seeing is buyers are being very conservative. They're very conservative with what they're investing in, how big of the project they're investing in because of the rate, the increase in money, the rates, and we're about to have another one. So I think what happens is some of these buyers buy multiple properties at a time, and when it comes down to closing, they got to make a choice if this is one that they're going to stay with or are they sticking with another one. And I think in this scenario, Mike, they just decided to go in a different direction. All right, so you emphasize with them customer service a little bit. Right? Hey, I get it. Sucks. Not what we wanted to happen. But what I said was, and unfortunately, sometimes we got to have a little bit of salesmanship in this. I didn't have any backup buyers, but I knew I could sell the property because I knew we had it at a good deal. Right? So I'm going to repeat that. I knew I could sell the property again because we had it at the right price. When you have it at the right price, it's going to sell. I don't care what market you're in. I don't care what the economy is doing. If you have the property locked up at the right price, you can sell it. I know we had it locked up at the right price because Max got it locked up at $229. I knew we could sell it. So basically I said, Mike, we always have backup buyers just in case something like this happens because we always perform. We want our buyers, the people we work with, you and your wife, to have a good experience with us. So I just need a little bit more time to get my backup buyer in here and to get his approval through underwriting, and then we can have him pick up right where the last one left off. I think that was Matt that asked me that question. Matt, that's how I had that conversation with this one, this in particular one. I'm trying to think of another scenario just to speak on how I would ask it. So really you want to, again, I think a lot of it comes down to emphasize, if I'm even saying that word right, with the seller. So, hey, Mike, I know we've been working on this for a couple of weeks, maybe even longer, right? We're really close to getting this down to the line. A couple things didn't happen according to plan, and it just caused a little bit of delay with getting the funding so we can actually close on your property. Still going to close. Everything's going to do the same. We just need a little bit more time. And I'm sure you don't want to go through this whole thing all over again. So if you don't mind, if you can just get your signature here, this allows us to continue to market this to our backup buyer so we can get this closed and get you taken care of so you can have that money to wherever you got to go next. So I'm painting pictures as well if you guys caught on to that. I'm not just saying, hey, I need more time so we can close it. We need more time so underwriting can be prepared to fund the transaction so we can close and get you the money that you need to move, to buy the new house, to pay off this, to pay off that, whatever that may be. And somewhere in there, I'm like, like they start giving pushback, I might be like, Mike, do you really want to start this process all over again? I mean, we're so close. We're right there. Right? So, Matt, that's how I would handle that. Hopefully that answers your question. All right, we got another one here. Let's see here. Juan Miguel, makes sense, Ryan, those boundaries. I learned the hard way when a buyer I had kept haggling price and never buys. Totally different, but similar. Thanks for the tips, bro. Yes, we call the shots, meaning if you have the contract, you call the shots, all right, especially in this market, right? If a buyer is looking for a property, listen, okay, sorry. Everything good? All right. Cool. Let's check in with my team over here. Let's see here again. Haggling on price. Yeah, you call the shots. We have the deal, right? So I get it. You're haggling on price. Mike, I'm just using Mike because I keep using Mike. So Mike is the buyer. Mike, I get it. If this is a deal breaker, I mean, just let me know. I'm confident, right? So let me back up a little bit, Juan Miguel. And this also depends on when you have the deal. If we just locked up the deal, if we have the deal, we're in the first 5 days. I'm going to use Mike as a buyer. Mike, hey, man, I appreciate the offer. I mean, it's not what we're looking for. It's not at our asking price. And at this point, we just got it. So I'm letting them know I just got it. I'm not making any hasty decisions right now. We feel confident that we can get our asking price, right, of 265. If for some reason we don't get good feedback and we don't get what we're asking for, we will then promise you I'll reach out to you. We'll consider your offer. Right. But as of right now, I just got it. And again, I'm sure I really say this, right? I put it in there. I'm sure if you're in my position, you do the same thing, right? You just got it. You want to see what the market says, what's the feedback. And so far right now, your offer isn't close to our asking price. I get if it's a deal breaker, let's just move on. You know what? If this one doesn't work, we'll work on the next one. Right? Nonchalant, push them away. Alfonso Gutierrez, yes, there's even a twist to that question. So Max is going to have to explain the small details in this. There was something to learn from this, but based on, I'm going off of memory, guys. So again, I'm not good on this, but the person who went and put the EMD down didn't receive a receipt. That's the best way I can explain it. Okay. So once the buyer walked away, of course, we're like, all right, let's give us our EMD then. Our escrow officer is like, no, it's not going to you. We never gave, again, going off of the best I can explain, we never provided a receipt to the person to put the deposit down. They have to state in writing that they're giving up the EMD. So we were like, wait, what? I never heard of this before. I've been through hundreds of transactions. Max has never heard of this before. He's been through thousands of transactions. And we were just like, wow, not only did the deal not close, EMD, which should be clearly going to us, was not going to us for, again, a technicality reason that I've never heard of before. So it was a little discouraging. That's what I said earlier. I was more the full part of the story, why we got a little down. It was like, man, what? How did this happen? Long story short, we did get it. We got the EMD because the buyer who walked away went in and signed off and said, yes, I authorized the EMD. It was non-refundable. I don't know the whole story on all of what transpired, but it looks like everyone did the right thing. Max and I got the EMD. So that was another part of the story was we got the EMD, $5,000, and then we sold the property for $10,000. So we made 15. We actually made more money on it because of the first person backing out. So in the long run, it all worked out good for everybody, right? We actually made more money. And that's another just small reminder of when you hit the wall or get punched in the mouth, maybe it's a bad thing. You don't know yet, right? Because you haven't had enough time. Enough time hasn't been enough time to really determine, was that a bad thing or was that a good thing? And really, it wasn't a bad thing. It turned out to be a good thing, right? Here's one I'm going to throw you guys just to share some insight, something that Ryan probably haven't heard from Ryan Overcash. I got in trouble a few years back. All right. I got in trouble where I had to go to jail for a little bit of time. Now, back then, telling me, hey, jail's going to be good for you, it would have been like, no, hell no, you're out of your mind. But now I know that was the best thing that happened to me. So you never know what happens. You got to give it time, got to fight through those moments, and you never know what's on the other end of that. And always on the other end, it usually works out. I said always and usually. It always works out if you have faith and do the right thing. All right, new question here. I had to ask for an extension. Okay, I'm sure you don't want to go through this whole thing all over again. That's great. Yes, right? Take them through the pain. Drag them through the pain, right? You don't want to start this whole process all over again, right? Nobody wants to do that. All right. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate that. I had to ask for an extension on the EMD deposit date today, and somehow I pulled it off. Heck yeah, Matt. You're going to have to share with us how you did it, because whatever you did, it worked, right? And the rest of us can probably learn from that. What else we got here? What else we got? I need more questions to talk about. Without Max here talking about all the crazy stuff, I need questions. But yes, anyways, things worked out, right? Went from cancellation, losing the EMD, to reselling it and getting the EMD back and making more money than we originally were planning on making. So that's amazing. Just something kind of a learning point here, a little teaching point. Another deal that we're working on in Washington. I'm not sure if it's Tacoma or Seattle. I think it's Tacoma. Tacoma, Washington, a JV partner that we have brought us a deal. Didn't have a buyer and couldn't move it. We have a pretty good network in Washington. It's one of our markets that we have a pretty good stronghold on. So we're able to move it and sell it. But we ran into another challenge, and it was all because of the wording on the agreements. People, please look at your agreements. Reach out to me or Max individually. We'll send you some of the language we have in our agreements. The issue all stemmed from vague language on who pays closing costs. In Washington, I don't know if this applies anywhere else. This is the only place I've ever ran into it. And I actually got burnt on it the first deal I worked on. That was on my own. But excise taxes, EXCISE. Krista knows about that. Krista Gonzalez, I know you're on here. Juan, you probably know about that. Frankie, Keys for Cash knows about that. Talk about the excise. There's Max. Is that you or Max? That was you, yeah. So it was him? Oh, okay. So Max wants to talk about the excise tax. So yes, so the excise tax, guys, it is a seller, technically, the way I know it. I'm not an attorney or CPA, so double check this. But my first deal I did in Washington, never heard of excise taxes before. Everything is done deal. And it goes to the buyer's getting the settlement statement. And at the settlement statement, he's like, hey, man, I don't pay excise taxes. He was a veteran buyer. He's bought before, so he knows all about it. I never heard of it. So all of a sudden, title calls and starts talking to us about this. And I'm like, I never heard of it. All we're aware is buyer pays all closing costs. Well, somebody had to eat that excise tax. The seller was not eating it. He was like, I've gone down close enough. The buyer was like, nope, that's not part of it. So I had to eat it. That was my learning lesson. It was over $4,000 I had to eat. I'll never make that mistake again. I'll never forget about excise taxes again. And I'll never forget about Washington and excise taxes. Okay. So anyways, that was me. That was back in July or August. Fast forward to now, we're working with our partner, Ruben. Cool dude, smart guy. Again, nothing wrong with Ruben. Just his contract, it was a little weak, and it allowed the buyer, which my buyer was very experienced as well, and kicked that door wide open as soon as she saw the agreement, signed the agreement, and it had nothing to do with her paying the excise taxes. It looked like Title wasn't helping us very much. Title didn't do a very good job. Title should have known off the bat that was a seller expense. It goes on the settlement state on the seller side. So anyways, we had to get involved with Title. We helped Ruben with what language needs to be on the actual agreement. We're able to explain to the seller that this is an actual seller expense, a seller cost, and it comes out of seller proceeds. It was accurate, right? It wasn't lie, it wasn't fake. So seller understood, and we're able to move forward with that deal. And everyone's going to get what they're supposed to get on that one, but that almost hurt us, right? That almost blew up the deal. It kind of drove a little bit of a wedge between me and our buyer because we are looking to do repeat business. We're not a one-off group, one-off shop, right? We do repeated business. We have a lot of data that we just invested in Washington. So what this buyer doesn't know is she hurt herself because we want to do multiple deals with this person because she wasn't willing to work with us, because she was really trying to take advantage of the situation. We will never do business with that buyer again, or they'll have to pay a premium to do business with us. So one way or another, we'll get our money from that person. Let's see if there's any other questions here. Gabe, are y'all still doing deals in Phoenix? We are. The one that we're just talking about with the husband and wife, the one that was canceled, that's here. That's actually in Mesa, Arizona. So that was a Mesa deal. So we still are doing deals here in the Valley. Matt, I caught her at a perfect time. She was super sick and just wanted to get off. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I'm missing. super sick. I just wanted to get off the phone. I took her through the pain and told her that we need to get through the property a few more times with the big EMD. We are concerned we aren't going to be able to make it work. She asked what we can do to make it go through. Perfect. Right? That was awesome, Matt. Awesome, right? Got to plant the seeds of doubt and put it in the seller's lap. What do you think we should do? Do you really want to start all over again? No, I didn't think so either, right? Anyways, good. I appreciate that, Matt. That's awesome. All right, so top home buyers. What new things are y'all implementing in the business to be more efficient? Awesome question. One, it wasn't hard for us to stay or to be efficient because we weren't a huge operating machine, right? We have a small, tight-knit team. There's 4 of us. Well, if we count Daniel, it's like 5 of us. No, Daniel does all of our social media, YouTube guru guy now. So I have to make sure I call him by the right. He's YouTube guru now. But anyways, we're a small knit team. So we didn't have a big building that we had to pay rent or a mortgage to. We don't have a bunch of crazy software that we're having monthly, dues to. So we were able to pivot really quick. So one, to who asked that question, top home buyers. One, it just happened to be our situation that really helped us. 2, we got our ear, right, so to speak, to the street. We're at every meetup possible. Not every one. We do miss some, right? We missed one yesterday, Gabe. Thanks. That's Gabe's fault that we missed yesterday's. But we are at every meetup as much as possible. People who are buying right now are there at those meetups. Oh, he can hop on. Yeah. So people who are buying right now are at the meetups. People who are struggling right now are at the meetups, and they're talking about what they're struggling with and why. So the more that we're able to network and hear what other people are doing that's working and not working, we take their ideas, right? Some of them, not all of them, implement them into what we're doing. So really, we just leverage what we have. We have a big network. Max is known for being able to close deals and negotiate, right? You guys all know that. He's known nationwide. He's known internationally now. Canada, Mexico, I don't know what other countries he's known in. What did you say, Portuguese? But he's international. So one, people know that he has that skill set. So we know what skill set we have, right? Max, master sales guy, master negotiator. Where I come into play, networking, relationships, and buyers. Okay, so how do we leverage that in what's going on right now? Well, people need to focus on getting more deals, and people need to focus on getting deals at the right price. So Max is reaching out and offering, hey, I can help you. I can help coach your acquisition team. I can help coach your VAs, or we can help renegotiate. We're offering our services and our skill set to help close the deal, right? Then let's say, hey, we're able to negotiate and lock it up. Ryan will take it from there. I don't have VAs working for me. I don't have assistants working for me. It's me doing all the work. So I will call, text, email, whatever it takes to get the deal sold, reach out to our network and leverage our network. What that does, that allows you, okay, perfect. Yeah. So what that does, that allows you to stay focused on just getting more deals. If you could just focus on getting more deals, not get a deal, then spend time selling the deal, then go back to getting another deal, then sell that deal, vice versa, that takes momentum, right? So stay in the acquisition field, stay in there, keep getting deals, and we'll sell your deals for you, right? Make more money with spending less time on it. And that's where we have really transitioned into helping people move their deals here, whether it's locally or nationally, by leveraging our network. Also, what we've done is we've connected with Cash Money Mike and Corey Geary of Novation Nation. If you guys do not know, ladies and gentlemen, do not know who those two people are, go look them up on IG. Corey Geary, Novation Nation, and Cash Money Mike with a K, Cash Money Mike. So right now, because the deals aren't, hold on. You ready to come on?
Yeah.
Go ahead, get in here. Let me introduce
my
man.
Hey.
Gabe.
You guys hear me?
Oh, yeah. So we're gonna both have to. When I talk, you have to be on mute. When you talk, I have to be on mute.
Sounds good.
Gabe, though. Looks like a guru already.
Carlos Reyes.
Say hey to everyone.
Hey everyone. What's up? How's it going? How's it going? Okay. As Ryan mentioned, I'm working with Ryan. I'm working with Max. So it's nice to be here in the field with them. And just like yesterday, Ryan drilled me on some calls, which I like. You know, it helped me out.
Tell the truth. What'd you say at first?
He was on my ass. I was mad. You know, I was like, man, Ryan's on my ass. Like, man, like leave me alone. But then after the call, I was like, okay, look, this is something I needed. Some of my calls I sounded monotone, so I didn't even realize that. Like I'm just like I said, I'm just hammering the phone. So sometimes you don't realize how monotone you sound or how selfish you sound. So it's nice to have Ryan and Max be there for me, going over recordings and just going, hey Gabe, like I need you to be more energetic in the calls. I need you to listen more. I need you to ask more, dig into the pain, because that's what it is right now. Everyone's struggling to get deals. So right now you actually have to talk to sellers. You can't just keep, it's not like how it was where, oh, you're not ready to sell. Okay, next. Now you actually have to spend some time and go deep into the talk and like, hey, like, can you tell me a little bit more about that? Can you say this? Or, well, okay, so you live 80 miles away. Like, man, that property must be a burden for you. So like Ryan said, it helps out a lot.
That's awesome, Gabe. Appreciate you sharing that. And really the takeaway everyone should take out of that is we should all have a counterpart, someone to hold us accountable, someone who can listen to our calls or whatever we're doing in the business and give us true feedback, right? Gabe, I get it. I understand the frustration part. I think most of us are the same way. There are times where people are telling me something and I'm like, ugh, but I know to have patience because I've been through it enough. I know, okay, Gabe's telling me this for a reason. I may not agree with it right now, but it's okay. Maybe there's something to this, right? Maybe he is right. If there is just a little sliver of truth to what he's telling me, could I benefit from it? And that's what I would ask everyone to ask yourself. If one, you have a hard time taking constructive criticism, all right, or coaching, is there a sliver of truth to what they're saying, and can I benefit from it? If the answer is yes, then shut up, put the attitude away, and do what you got to do to learn. All right, do what you got to do to get better. So for everyone to hear that heard what Gabe said, if you need a what do we call it when we hold each other accountable? Accountability partner. Sorry, need an accountability partner. Reach out to myself or Gabe. Right, we love to help. If you know somebody else, have someone listen to your calls. Send them a recorded call. Gabe and Mateo send me recorded calls every night, and they don't send me their best ones. The reason they don't send me their best ones because they do want to get better, right? And they're okay feeling uncomfortable. You got to get comfortable being uncomfortable to get better and to improve. If you could close, think about this. If someone could help you close just one more deal a month, what does that do to your bottom line? Right? I mean, average sell right now, I mean, it's gone down. I know it's gone down, but right now our average is $12,000. So if you can just any one of you could add $12,000 a month just by getting a little bit of coaching from a call, your presentation, your offer, rebuttals, whatever that may be, don't put that off. Don't think that that's it's not going to benefit you. Don't think that I'll get to that. Dig in, make a commitment, find someone that can help you get better and do it. Because already I can tell Gabe's taking the feedback and running with it. And that's what I love and Max loves to see is just watching someone get better. Right. And just, I don't know. Gabe?
No, definitely. No. And you said it, you knocked it yesterday. You're like, hey man, like I get it. Like hammering the phones or calling sellers. It could get draining. It does get draining. Like it's not, it's people say, oh, I'm hammering the phone 6 to 8 hours. It's draining. Like people don't understand it is draining. But he was saying, just think about it in the long run, man. Like be efficient this time, so eventually you don't have to do it. he was telling me that, look at the long run, look at the long-term goal, which is 6 months from now, a year from now. I probably won't be doing this, but right now I got to focus, I got to drill, I got to be on my skills. And so right now, a lot of us are wondering, what should we do? Should I put this double down on marketing? Should I double down over here? For me, I think it's double down on what Max has been saying, preaching this whole time. Double down on your skills, double down on what you're good at. For me, is I'm trying to get better at my acquisitions calls. And so that way, when the market is better, we're ready and we don't have to get ready. And so that's something for me that I'm doing. And I love that I have these guys behind my back.
Oh, that's a good point, Gabe. I love that. So a little bit about, I like what you caught on to, and this maybe explain this a little bit more, or give me a little bit more feedback. So people who are listening here. So what I told Gabe was, hey, dude, I think a lot of us will do this. Like when it calls, like you think you got to call forever, like years. You don't, right? Like you got to be intentional in the moment and give it everything you got. Cause you can be off the phone in 3 months. You can be off the phone in 6 months, or you can be off the phone in 12 months. You're not doing this forever. It's a means to an end. You get good on the phone, so you know how to recognize what to say, how to negotiate, what's a deal, what's not a deal. Then eventually you do what, right? You get somebody else to help you. There's somebody else coming up. Then you're out doing more revenue generating activities, things that actually give you more energy, and you're bringing other people up who are making the calls for you, who have the energy to do that, right? And so it's a cycle.
No, definitely. And you said it earlier. You said you don't want to keep doing everything. Eventually, you want to scale and be like, all right, I got to have people help me here. So you did say earlier, you hit on it. So definitely understand that. But any other questions? Do we have any other questions on here? Let me see.
People, please ask questions, feedback. What do you want to know about our business right now? What do you need help with right now? While we're waiting on questions, I'll jump back in. Top home buyers. I know I started answering your question, then we got Gabe in here. So I'm all over. This is just how I naturally am. What new things are y'all implementing in the business to be more efficient? So like I said, to kind of go back, we connected with Cash Money Mike with a K and Corey Geary, Novation Nation. So we're using other strategies if our wholesale offer is not working. Seller finance is huge right now, big time, right? So what we do for that, top home buyers, let's say that Gabe wants 200,000. I'm maxed out at a 120, but and the house, let's say the house is worth what, 220, 225, 250. All right, so hey, it's not a wholesale deal, but the next question that we say is, hey, looks like the convenience of a cash offer is not going to work, Gabe. I get it. It's all good. That may not have been an option, but I just started thinking here a little bit deeper here, kind of thinking outside the box. In the past, there have been other ways we've been able to help people purchase their property other than a cash offer. Then we can probably pay what you want, maybe even more. I'm not sure. But if we were able to come up to what you're asking, if we were able to pay your asking price, would you give us some time to pay it off? Right? So that's what you want. If they say yes, boom, you're in there, right? If you have someone that can help you write up terms, reach out to them. If you need help, that's where you reach out to us. There's a link in my bio. If you have a deal or a lead you want us to work on, you click on that link and you just fill it out. That way it tracks to you. We know exactly who has the lead and who we need to reach out to. So again, if you have a deal that you can't close wholesale wise, but you ask them, hey, we can come up to your price if you give us some time, and they say yes, reach out to us. We can help you structure some favorable terms that you can present to the seller.
And keep it that way, and keep it that simple. Some of us are like, okay, what do I do? Just say that. Okay, would you give us some time? And if they agree, okay, look, this call usually goes further with my underwriting team. We would have to schedule something where you're available and they're available to talk. That way we can discuss more in depth. When's a good time to talk? When's a good time to give you a call? What's your availability looking like this weekend, Monday? So that way you set up that call. Then you call Ryan or you call Max. Hey, Ryan, Max, I got someone who's open to creative finance, and then that's when Max and Ryan can come in and be able to negotiate more into the deal, and then actually try to put something into writing. But Ryan, question for me: Do you what do you for us like? I'd be like, okay, is this a good deal to send him? What do you look for? Like, if they say, hey, would you give me some time? So, for example, earlier I got a seller that said, hey, yeah, I'd be down to do the seller finance, but I want 100K down. Is that something where what would you do in that scenario?
Yeah, that's great question, right? Because that down payment is what could kill deals, right? So I wouldn't decline that or say, oh no, we can't do it, because what we're going to hit them with, and this is what I'm sure a majority of you don't know yet. This is what we got to show you and what we're learning. Some of you may know. I'm not trying to say you don't know this, but how we get them on seller finance is we offer more money. So if they want, think of it this way. I'm going to go off of, I know I'm using numbers all over the board, but if they want hold on, let me try to see here. If they want 300,000 for the property, they want 300,000 for the property. And wholesalers are coming in at 180. What would they be coming in at that? Like 180 probably, right? 180, 160, 150, maybe 190 all day long. And somebody wants 300. Now we go to them and we say, okay, I know you want $100,000 down, but would you give us time to pay it off? They say yes. Okay, I can't do the $100,000 down, but what if I was able to pay you? You're asking 300. What was the highest offer you got? 190. We'll give you 325. So the long-winded answer, Gabe, we go higher on the offer price to avoid down payment and to avoid interest. We don't want down payment or interest. So how we combat that is we go up in price. So some of you are like, well, hey, how do you do that? Well, if we have time, we make up that price because the market corrects itself, right? We have appreciation from the market. We have depreciation from the actual property itself. And then we're getting cash the whole time, right? Monthly payments, we're getting cash because we're renting it out. So I know that was very general and broad, but the biggest, my quickest answer is we offer more money to avoid the down payment. That's how we get away with that. Now, go ahead, Gabe. What are you going to say?
No, I was gonna change.
I'll read the question here. Gabe will figure out his mute. All right. What have y'all changed in regards to marketing, cold calling, texting, PPC? Love this question. This is awesome. This is good stuff here.
Yo.
There you are. He's back.
Go ahead. Answer the question.
All right. So I can tell you what we're doing right now is cold calling. We are not texting. Not that that's not working. We're just not doing it. PPC, we are going to get into. I can tell you a lot of the people that we talk to that are doing awesome right now, they're doing it through PPC. So PPC is kind of the new, what we call hot chick, right? It's just a term. It's like whatever the shiny object is right now, it is PPC. So PPC is definitely working. It's inbound. A lot of the people that are doing big numbers right now are doing PPC and cold calling. Cold calling is really honestly never goes away.
It's consistent. Cold calling is consistent. We keep going.
Yeah. So it's consistent. Sometimes, you get the results go up and down, but since I've been in this business, I've never heard of anybody going away from cold calling. Maybe there's somebody out there that has. I'm just saying, from what I hear, no one goes away from it. It just sometimes works better than others. PPC is number one. Be careful with texting. Everyone knows about the litigation, or if you haven't, please make sure that you have some sort of litigation scrub before you text. There are professional, I don't know what you want to call them, but their career is to prey on people like us who are sending texts to unauthorized texts, is the best way I can say it, and then they sue us. So be careful on that. We do have somebody who is not, again, I'm always careful with how I say this because I don't want to disrespect anybody. They don't work for us. They do their own door knocking, but we're just we partner with them. We help them. Which brings me back to a point. Sorry, I wanted to go back to this earlier. Again, I told you I'm all over the place. When Gabe earlier was talking about if you guys get a scenario where there is a seller finance option and you want to bring that to us, we don't just get the deal done for you and negotiate for you. We teach you this stuff. You're part of the negotiation. That's, I think, one of the biggest things that separates us from others. And again, I'm saying that with respect. And there's people who will vouch for us on this. We handhold you. We talk to you. We answer your calls. We respond to your text messages. We give you our agreements. We help when we open up escrow. You're part of that email, so you can see the email that we do when we open up escrow, the different communications with our escrow officer. You're part of that too. When I get the deal to go sell it now, so on the front end, you're part of the negotiation. Now, when I start calling buyers, guess what? You're right there with me. We're not doing this just to close your deal and for us to get paid and you get paid. Like, we can do that. That's not a problem, but there's really no fun in that. Like, we get energized and feel good about ourselves and about what we're doing. When we help other people realize that they can get better, they can do this on themselves, and just watch their eyes light up when they're like, oh my gosh, and they change their own lives. Gabe, talk about that a little bit. Gabe, talk about like what you witnessed, Max and I, and you're part of it too, brother. It's not just Max and I, but all of us, our energy, what we care about, what we stand for.
No, definitely. These guys do stand what they say. When they say something, it really means it. Ryan has shifted my perspective mindset wise. I wake up at 5. We do a 5 a.m. call in the mornings. I wasn't waking up at 5. I was waking up, 6 o'clock, 6 a.m., 6:30, but now I'm waking up at 4:50 to get ready for the 5 a.m. call. But that starts your energy, and Ryan's helped me develop my mindset where before I was saying a lot of I'll try, hopefully. It's like, no, cut all that, man. Cut all that. You will do it. I expect you to do it. So it's just a mind shift like crazy. Just going over those calls in the morning. What's your win of the day? What's your non-negotiable? And then with Max coming in here, I come here once, probably twice a week just to learn, pick up some stuff about, acquisition calls. Hey man, you need to get that again with the mind. You have some mind blocks when you're talking to sellers. You got to get rid of those. You're expecting this to happen on the calls, and it's like, no, there's some mind blocks on there. And so these two guys have elevated me up, and it keeps you accountable as well. I don't think I would have survived without these guys in this market shift right now alone. I think alone, I probably go back to working valet right now at Fashion Square Mall, valeting all these guys' cars. So together, I wouldn't be here talking to you guys. So these guys have helped me out so much, and especially trying to attain my goals, learning from them. And so these guys are not just gonna be like, all right, let's do a deal together. Like he said, he's not transactional based; he's more relationship based. And so that's what I gotta say.
I appreciate that, Gabe. And this wasn't to talk good about me and Max. It was just, just came out. But that energizes me. I want to like go, and scream and get excited because of what Gabe just said. It has nothing to do with me. It's the fact that he's already got a mind shift. Things have changed. It's changed for the positive. And he knows it and he feels it and it's happening. That's what I love. That's what Max loves. We love seeing that and doing that. That helps us feel alive. We want to help more of you. And again, you don't even have to be local. You can be in any market. You just got to reach out, take action, and we'll help you.
We have people sometimes on the calls, like some of them are not acquisitions managers. They're not we had this girl on the call on the 5 a.m. calls. She's from Washington. She's not even from Phoenix. And she gets on the calls with us. She's like, oh yeah, I just do Airbnbs here and there. So it's for everybody. They're trying to help everyone out. So it's cool. It's cool to connect with other people outside the field of the wholesaling.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm a people person. I think that's why I am who I am, obviously, in this business. But the more people that you interact and rub elbows with, you learn. You learn from so many people and people you don't even think you're going to learn from. Everyone has their own experience and journeys in life. And I love that's what Gabe was really just saying there is he was talking about Umnyati. That's her name. She don't do real estate with us. She does Airbnbs on her own, does her own thing, but just happened to see our story, liked it, and she's all about self-development, and she needed some just support and mindset, and she's been doing it with us every morning, and she's brought perspective. Even like I even said to Gabe, Gabe, sorry, I think he's frozen here for a second, but like I didn't expect to like it to go two ways. I know that sounds stupid, right? Like I was just going to pour into these people. No, we're pouring into each other.
We are definitely. And then Daniel had a question. In this market, are you doing more deals with creative real estate, or is wholesaling still the main priority? Ryan, you can answer this.
Good question. So we always are going wholesale first, cash offer, right? The cash offer first, creative, and and then maybe Novation. Novation Nation, Corey Geary. I never got into explaining novations. Novations is basically like wholesaling without taking possession. Okay, wholesaling without taking possession. There's more to that. You know how to raise that desk? Yeah, I got you. All right, if it's locked, unlock it. There you go. All right. I got one at home. Oh, you got? Oh yeah, I forgot. My bad. Oh my God. My bad. There you go. All right. So this market, yeah. So always wholesale first. Although seller finance is catching up pretty quick.
No, it is. That's funny that you talk about cash offer first, because that's what we were role playing in the car on the way back from lunch. Is we were role playing cash offers. I was like, all right, how does this? And then he's like, okay, now if this doesn't work, this is how we're gonna apply creative finance. And so, definitely, no, I like that.
And as you just heard, we use every moment, every scenario to get better. We were driving back from lunch, right? We're not sitting there small talking. We're preparing for his next call. What scenarios could pop up? I'm really big on preparation, and I'm helping. Gabe knows this too, but just helping reinforce being prepared for all scenarios. We pretty much get 5 rebuttals from the sellers all the time. The same 5, right? Like, I need more money. I'm waiting to hear other offers, whatever it may be. If you're prepared for all 5 of those, not just prepared, you expect them. That way you're ready to go and you have the right response, and it doesn't catch you off guard, and you don't start hesitating and just starting to trip over your words. Sellers catch on to that, and they know they got you.
No, and I mess up. There's times I mess up, and there's times that I'm like, damn, Ryan, I think I messed up on this call. And so he'll let me know. He like you said, he listens to my recording, so definitely and like it's just action, you guys. Just taking action, learning, failing forward. So that's what I'm doing. Yes, I might not be one of the best acquisitions or making calls, but man, just over time, imagine 6 months from now or where am I at? It's going to pay off.
That's huge right there. I want to highlight what he just said. Just imagine 6 months from now, right? He's taking himself in the future of, if I keep putting in this work every day, there is a payoff to it. There absolutely is a payoff. And you got to remember that. And one of the things that we do to help, and I'll share this with everyone here, Gabe will talk about this a little bit. When he was saying earlier, I learned this from my coach, Ben Newman, I am statements. Yeah. So I have a reminder, 2 reminders for me, because why? And I'll let Gabe talk here in a second. Because the day kicks your butt. Things happen, right? And you wake up in the morning. I wake up early, 3 a.m, and I start getting prepared. I'll explain all this later. And again, it's not to brag. I do it because I have to, not because I want to, right? Standards over feelings. I have to get better. I need to get better. And the only way for me to do that is to take time out of my normal schedule and dedicate it to getting better. Mm-hmm. But one of the things I do is 5 a.m, I have my alarm, and 2 p.m, right? It says I am statements. And every time it goes off out loud, not to yourself, I am winning. I am whatever that may be. I am the best father, husband, son, leader that I can possibly be. Right? I am helping thousands, if not more, people better their lives through real estate, through self-development, and mental toughness. Right? These are just some examples of what I say. But you got to say it out loud, and you got to do it multiple times a day, because you got to reconnect to why you're doing what you're doing, because there's things there in the day that'll crack you in the mouth and help, and you'll start forgetting why you're doing it, and you start having the bad attitude and making excuses, and then you don't have a productive day. Gabe, what has that done for you? Talk a little bit about that.
Oh, it's like that 2 p.m. call. It's like my coffee. It's like it reminds you of why you're doing something. And Ryan will text us, remember your why, remember your why. And we've talked about it, and I've said it a couple times to people. My why is retiring my grandparents. So what is one of my examples of the I am statements? I am retiring my grandparents. I don't want to see them work again. So that's my why. So that 5 a.m., that 2 p.m., I'm looking at my phone. I am statements. I am retiring my grandparents. Now I know my why. Let's dial back in. Boom, get back into what I was doing, working. So it gets you, it gives you a reminder. So sometimes when you might have those bad days, sometimes I'm not expecting that 2 p.m. sometimes, because you get caught up in the world. You get caught up doing, oh, I got to go call this escrow company. I got to go call this seller. And then all of a sudden you get that alarm, and you're like, oh, yeah, my I am statements. You're excited about it because you're like, okay, cool. And you regroup a little bit, and you're like, okay, now I remember my why. Because sometimes you can get hit in the face by the world, and then these I am statements will help you out for sure.
Absolutely, they'll hold you accountable, right? Because sometimes I'm in a bad mood, or again, it sneaks up on you. You don't even know you're in it. You're in this funk, and the alarm goes off, and you're like, okay, I can choose to be in a bad mood and continue with whatever attitude I got, or I hear that voice in my head that says, Ryan, your I am statements. Why are you doing this? Why do you get up in the morning? Why do you push through all these tough moments in life? And I reconnect to it, and I do smile. I go, get over yourself, dude. Right? I get over yourself, bro, and get right back to it.
All right. Thoughts on somebody who wants to start doing social media? How would it benefit me and my business? Is it even worth doing? Ooh, Ryan, you kind of turn up your social media. Talk about this, man. You how much have you benefited from doing all these reels and just being more connected on social media?
Yeah, big time. It's helped me tremendously. And you know what else? Like, it's whether this is false, fake, a myth, or what, it's made me feel more confident in what I'm doing. So I always feel like there's something working for me. And what I mean by that is either my flyers or my reels, right? The clips, whatever it is. So even when I'm not working, there's something out there talking to somebody, reaching somebody, whether it's teaching them a lesson, informing them a little bit about me, or maybe telling them how we can help them, or going over something that they can learn from. One, again, I want to help as many people as possible. That's one of my burns. My inner purpose is I got to help people get to a better place, because people help me get to a better place. And I think about so much, what if that person wasn't in my life? What if I didn't answer that call? What if they didn't make that extra reach out to me, just to help me one extra time? And that really hits me. It does. Again, I feel like I'm here by chance, I don't mean it by chance. I'm here for a reason. God has me here for a reason, but it really could have went another direction so easily. So anyways, I'm here about helping people. I want to help as many people as possible. Social media. So getting back to that, social media is basically like the new resume, so to speak. It's your walking, living, breathing resume. So I was really against all this stuff before I got into this industry. Max made me get it, and I was like, oh my gosh, are you serious? I thought it was trouble. Like, I was like, social media is trouble for whatever reason you want to think about, or people want to talk about their food, right? That was just me. I'm like, bro, I can't. That's not me. I don't care what you eat, or I have feelings. I get it.
I said, I don't care about your dog. I'm playing, but I love my dog.
Yeah. But I was that person that was making like, how are they looking? But don't think of it that way. If you have to think about it this way, document your journey. That's what social media should be used for. Document your journey. Document what you're doing for yourself, so you can look back in 30 days and go, wow, look what I've done in 30 days. Look what I was doing 30 days ago, 6 months, a year. And then when it comes time for you to help other people, you have your resume of, look at all the stuff I've done. I've been doing this for years. So social media platforms are necessary.
It's a resume.
necessity for entrepreneurs. That's my final answer.
And Ryan, don't you got something going on coming up?
Yes. So thank you. I have a hard time even talking about it. So special for everybody who's on this only, DM me if you want to be part of my wholesaling intensive. It's a 5-week plan. I got Maximus. I got Corey Geary. I got Cash Money Mike, and I got Tony Monteblano. These are all guests during this 5-week training. It's 2 times a week on Zoom, Monday and Friday. I'm going to stay with you till you get your first deal. Not that you haven't done your first deal already, but first deal from starting my program. So even after the 5 weeks, if you haven't got a deal, guess what? I'm still working with you. So that starts Monday, November 7th. It starts this coming up week. So what I'm doing for anybody that's on here, you DM me directly and you want to sign up for my masterclass, I will give you a discount. It'll be $500 off. You have to sign up by midnight tonight. Okay, that's the catch. You got to sign up by midnight tonight. I'll give you $500 off starting the 5-week class starts on Monday of next week. I got industry leaders who are making millions of dollars right now. Not that have made it in the past. They're doing it right now in today's network. They're an open book. Everything that they have taught me, I'm opening it up to everyone else because I want to help people get better. That is my commitment to you. I want to help y'all get better. So DM me on @RealRyanOverCash on IG. I'll send you the discount code. If not, you can pay regular price. That's also in my profile. Click on the link. You'll see it there. But DM me direct. I'll send you the coupon. If you sign up by midnight tonight, you'll get the $500 off. Appreciate you bringing that up, Gabe.
Of course. Well, what do you think, Ryan? Time to wrap this up?
Yeah. I think we've given some insight. Hopefully, provided some value to some of you on here. Please reach out to us individually. Let us know if you want us to talk about a different topic, questions that maybe we didn't answer thoroughly. We always like to give back and help out our community.
Yeah.
Don't be shy. Give Gabe a follow. Give me a follow. Check out my wholesaling intensive.
Yeah.
Hit me up if you want the discount.
Please. Yeah. Hit him up, guys. A lot of people are not going to stick with you after the class. A lot of people just let you go. So the fact that Ryan is doing that, that's 100%. That's 100 from him.
Take action.
Take action, guys. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. Make sure you guys take time for your family. It starts with your family. So take time tonight. I'm going on a date with my lady. We're ending it, and I'm going to get off. So make sure you guys take time for your family.
Awesome.
You guys have a good one. Have a good night.
Love y'all.